Wagwan, everyone. I hope you're doing well, and welcome back to another show, another Arsenal show on Tereak Talks. Hope you're keeping good, people. Thank you for joining me, guys. It's baking, so if I look shiny, if I have a little bit of gloss coming over my face, yeah, you know, people, it's baking in the UK right now. It's probably not as hot, depending on where you're watching it, as the country that you're in. This country's certainly not made for this heat. But yeah, so I'm just letting you know from now that that's why I am sweating. But I do have two special guests, very special guests as well. And you guys know who they are already, but they are still special to us because they're a part of the Tereak Talks fam. First, I will introduce our brother. You know what? The godfather of the channel, shall we say, in Will. How you doing, bro?
I'm good, man. I'm feeling a lot better. I'm good. I'm doing really good.
Yeah, it's good. I'm glad that you're keeping well, man. Thank you. And you know what? People don't know. Wilf's been recovering from an operation. So yeah, man, send out your love to Wilf. And I'm glad that he's here. He's here with us now, you know, chatting about Arsenal, the team that he loves. You know what I mean? And you know what? He's got the Highbury shirt on from the the final season at Highbury. Gotta remember that. But big up my bro right there. And also, of course, so some may say saving the best till last. Hey, Will, I called you the Godfather.
No, definitely.
Nah. Big up my brother King. You see, I had to top the Godfather in some way. You know what I mean?
Yeah. I like that intro. I can't lie, but all respect to Wilf, man. He's the Godfather. You know, we do respect him, Uncle Wilf.
There you go. I love that.
Love that. Don of South London, the Godfather. We've got all the Italian mafia names for you. And we're just the contributors of the chat.
And his internet actually looked decent today. I'm impressed.
No, I've changed because you mentioned something about it. I've gone with my daughter's laptop, so I've sold my daughter's laptop, and so I've got new school now. You know what I mean?
There we go.
Looks good, quality.
That's what we like to see, man. Upgrading. Hopefully, if we can hit as many likes on this video, and the channel can grow. There we go. You know what? We'll be supplying all the man then with the mics, the laptops, everything, man.
Believe
the community. It's a family. Not one of us can eat. We all eat. You know how it goes.
Yeah, exactly.
Big up you guys, and big up everyone in the place as well. We've got Paxton in here. Let's go on at the late start. Of course, you know how it is. You know how it is. We were technical.
Yes, the wicked witch is
chatting in the background. That's how it goes. I always forget to press live. Unless you guys would want to see us having those conversations, let us know. Because the intro, we're already 3 minutes in. We've not really spoken a word about Arsenal. So yeah, we've been here for about another 20 minutes before we did that. Good evening to yourself as well, Mr. 200. Big up to yourself. He's saying, hope you've had a good day, just out walking the dog, so trying to stay ahead in the steps race. Okay, he knows about that. Yeah, another one. I think, yes, a part of the steps race with Edmund, with Tish, with Peony as well. I know they really do enjoy those. Big up yourself, Mr. 200. Big up Rich in here as well. Nice to see you, bro. Still wearing a cap, bro. I am indeed. King's in here as well in the chat. He's omnipresent. That's what he is. And look at that. Will Palace versus Arsenal tickets out now. Let me know what the plan is with Moss. You have to get out, get to him right.
Yeah, no, I've got to tell him because I've got a friend that works for Nike. And he usually gets us tickets. So I'm waiting on him just a little bit. I'm going to message him tonight as to whether to go and get the tickets.
Okay.
But yeah.
Interesting. There we go right there. We got Mushin in here as well. Hope you're keeping good. Thanks for joining. Wilf in the chat. And we've got Wesbird, Mr. and Mrs. Wesbird. And you know what?
Yes.
That's the perfect timing because that's also a part of the intro. I would just like to say, this is a family, as we like to say, people. You know, we send our best wishes out to everyone. And Mr. W has an operation coming up on the 15th of August, people. So make sure you keep the Wesbirds, Mr. and Mrs. W, in your hearts, your prayers, your thoughts, people, for this upcoming operation. And send
big
out
love going out to To Mr. W, man, big love, and Mrs. W.
Definitely.
Yeah. Our prayers and thoughts are with you guys, and hopefully it will go all right.
Exactly. That's what we're hoping for. And love to see you in the chat, and always to see. I know she's having a smile right now. I know we can't see her, but she's smiling. So yeah, big up to yourself, Wes Bird, right there, and Mr. W. You see, we all love from the fam over here. But guys, introductions done. Well, we still have. I still need to give you a reason why we're doing this show, and basically, I want to do this show on a weekly basis. This is something that I've been thinking about when's the best time to do it. I wanted to our fellow Arsenal fans that with the likes of Will King, who we have seen plenty of times before and I've got to know on a regular basis through these shows, through the community that we have created. And then also plenty of other Arsenal fans as well. Let's not forget Moss and Bobby, the likes of, and then Crab, who's come on the show previously too. We've had plenty of Arsenal fans. And I thought, you know what? Now we've got this community built, I feel this is the right time where we can have a weekly show where we just talk about Arsenal. When the season comes up, of course, we'll have games to talk about. Arsenal being in European competition as well. So we'll have 2 games to talk about if we can do it at the start of the week. It will be good. But for now, we're going to be talking all things like transfers, any news that's coming out, as you see from the title and thumbnail of this video. And hopefully we can have the likes of Wilf and King on here as regular, my co-hosts of the channel. So we can get content out for you guys and the fellow Arsenal fans on a regular basis as well. So yeah, thank you, Will. Thank you, King, for joining me today. And yeah, we will get started. But before I do that, Social's just come into the place as well. He's loving it. He's loving the melanin. I think Social likes the melanin. I think he does. You know what I mean? You know what they say, Social? Once you go black, there's no going.
Exactly.
Big up yourself, Social. Oh man, but yeah, we're gonna get started now, people. And as you can see from the thumbnail and title, exclusive from the AFC stuff on Twitter, who in collaboration with Sport Bible, so they do have credible, they're working for a credible organization right there. Exclusive, and it's been all over the place that Martin Ødegaard is set to be given the captaincy at Arsenal. So, Will, I'll ask you first, my brother. What's your thoughts on this situation? Because before you do that, we saw Ødegaard take the captaincy in the odd game when Lacazette wasn't playing, but then when Lacazette was dropped from the side, that's when and Kieran Tierney picked up his injury. That's when Ødegaard was giving it a lot more. But now it looks like he's going to be the pulling rank in number 1. Ahead of Kieran Tierney, who was the captain at the time when he was playing. What's your thoughts on that overall? I know it took me ages to ask that question, but yeah, what is your thoughts?
Honestly, it's a no-brainer. And it fits the profile of this side. Young, hungry, ambitious. He's already the captain of his national side. He's a leader on the pitch. He's already Arteta's right-hand man on the pitch. You see them, the way they are, the relationship that he has, the trust that they have in each other. It's kind of like a no-brainer, and it bridges the gap between the experienced players and the young players. So for me, it makes perfect sense.
I understand. You know what? Good shout there, King. I was asking, I don't know if you heard, in terms of he seems to have taken over Kieran Tierney in this sense, if he is going to be named captain. What's your thoughts on that? Do you think he has shown leadership material in that sense? And a lot of people say he doesn't look like the vocal, the old-fashioned captain that we used to have back in the day, the old vocal one who used to scream and shout, but, like a Tony Adams, like a Patrick Vieira. But what's your thoughts on that?
I think, first of all, things have changed. We live in a new day and age where if you are too aggressive, you might get the players against you. This is a new generation of players with another mentality. They are not used to that. So I think Ødegaard makes a lot of sense. He's the captain for Norway. People say that he doesn't shout a lot, but he's still active on the pitch. He does talk a lot on the pitch. He gives a lot of instructions, and he's someone who the club knows will behave on and off the pitch. There's never anything controversial around him, and I think the fact that Kieran Tierney has been so injury prone, and we've been linked to players like Martinez who might even come in and take over his place, just tell us that maybe his status is a bit, 50-50, where about Ødegaard, the club knows that they can rely on him. He won't get injured, so it's a good choice.
Yeah, definitely.
But remember, if people say that Ødegaard's quiet, but do you remember during lockdown, that West Ham game? The brother's vocal. The brother's vocal. He's not aggressive, but he's definitely vocal.
Yeah. I agree with that assessment, definitely.
I do agree, and I think there's with captains and leaders, you can lead in different ways. You don't need to be, and every leader's different. You can have the authoritarian one, the one who's very vocal and communicates verbally and even with their body language a lot of the time. But then I think Martin Ødegaard is one of those leaders who sets by example, the way he carries himself with his professionalism. He's never had any issues about that. And when he first came into the side, that's one of the things that Mikel Arteta praised highly when we're looking at Martin Ødegaard. So, and that at the time, remember, we had issues, the Aubameyang situation. For a young guy who's very experienced in the game to show that level of professionalism, maturity, that's why you break through at that young age. It's not based on pure talent at all. You make that first team football in Norway. You also make that move to Real Madrid, even though it didn't work out. It takes a different type of mentality to bounce back from those situations. So, as you said, and he's the captain of Norway as well, the youngest captain that they've had. 22? He was the captain of Norway when that was announced. It's ridiculous to see, really. And this guy really does have special talent, not just that, but a special mentality to be so experienced within the game. And if he is the captain, I can totally understand why Mikel Arteta has gone with him. But Wilf, also, I just wanted to ask, why you agree with the choice? Why wouldn't you have gone with Kieran Tierney as your club captain?
Again, the obvious, he's not going to be on the pitch as much. You can't really rely on someone that's in and out of the side. He has all the attributes. But before Odegaard came, I would have said, 100% Kieran Tierney. But you got to be on the pitch. You know what I mean? It's why, I probably wouldn't even give it to Thomas Partey, because you can't consistently count on him as well. I saw I think it was Mr. Westbird said about or someone said about Ramsdale. He would have been my second choice. But I can't really, with all the attributes that I've said about Martin Ødegaard, you can't really look past him. You know what I mean? People say he's come back from Madrid. I don't think it was a comeback. He was always that consistently good. It's just Madrid were dumb enough not to take the chance on him. You know what I mean? Madrid don't really, teams like Barcelona, Madrid, Juventus, they don't really trust youth. That only seems to happen in Germany, France. But of the top 5 leagues, we are probably third in that. But they didn't trust him, and he lost faith in them. You know what I mean? He didn't want to wait, and that shows his hunger. And he came to us in his forward thinking, seeing what was going to happen, seeing what was happening at the club, wanted to be part of that, wanted to be one of the leader materials, saw the age profile. They're all boys in there that are hungry like him, are ambitious like him, are going places, and it was a better fit. And that intelligence is part of what is makes him a good captain.
Totally hear that. Before we go over to King and hear his thoughts on why Ødegaard he's made captain over the other players that he would have made as candidates, let's see what you're saying first. Wesbird says Tierney can't stay fit, so I'm thinking that Ramsdale might be a good shout for captain in my humble but accurate opinion. So Wesbird thinking Ramsdale there. We'll ask King's opinion on that shortly. And Mr. W, he says Ødegaard for me. Good injury record, consistently good performer, captain material for me. So Wesbird putting out some, some valid, and I agree with those reasons to why he's a good captain in that sense. And there's even more to that King and Wilf elaborated as well. But for your opinion, King, because Wesbird mentioned Aaron Ramsdale, why is Ødegaard a better fit for captain than the likes of Ramsdale, Tierney? Because we have a leadership group that Arteta's spoken about, and I think he put Benjamin White in there too. And yeah, what's your thoughts on that? And even when there's players that are more experienced than him in that sense. Oh, you're on mute, bro. It might have been disconnected. But while she's trying to sort that out, Social also said, for me, I would have chosen Ødegaard. Jesus as backup. The guy has been there and done it, still got the hunger to prove himself. So I was putting Jesus in there, a part of the leadership group as well. King, you there?
Can you hear me now?
Yeah, that's perfect.
Ah, good. Now, I was saying that I'm not overly keen usually on goalkeepers to be captain. I think they're too far away from the rest of the team. So, it's hard for Ramsdale to have an impact on the attack because he's so far away from them. Whilst if the captain is someone who's more central, like Ødegaard, he can speak with the attack, but he can also speak with the defense. So for me, in that sense, I'm not... if you can have someone who's not the goalkeeper, I prefer that. And when it comes to, if you look at Ødegaard, he's played in the Champions League. He's played for a big club like Real Madrid. He's the captain for Norway. He got a lot of international caps with Norway. So he is experienced. He's one of the few players who can say that he's actually played in the Champions League. A lot of the other candidates haven't. The only other one, I think, is Tierney. And as mentioned before, for me, Tierney is too injury prone. And I think Gabriel, as much as he's very loud, I think he's a bit too emotional. Maybe in a couple of years' time, when he gets more mature and can handle the heat of the moment and won't, get too emotional, then maybe he will be a good shout. But I think overall, what's more important is not who is the main captain. It's that you've got leaders in that group. Because you can have the best captain in the world. If the rest of the squad doesn't have the right mentality, it's very little that he can actually do. But if you got a group of leaders, a group of players who got winning mentality, who wants to improve, who wants to be professional, then really that's more important for me. And that's why I like this group of players that we have. Your Bukayo Saka, your Smith Rowe, your Martinelli, Jesus, who's just came in. All of these players are warriors, on the field. So it looks bright for Arsenal in that area.
It's true. I do agree with you in that sense. And when Mr. Wesbird's agreed with you in saying that goalkeepers as captains, he's not really a fan of. And I understand that because they're not really involved in the overall play a lot of the time. So I understand that point of view. But yeah, you said it, and you said about Ødegaard and the fact that he's 23 now, but he's had so many years of first-team football at the international level. You shouldn't really look at the age in that aspect, and you should look at how many appearances and the difficulties he's gone through in the game.
Well, Tony Adams was captain at 21, 22. He was captain at Arsenal at 21, 22. So age is a number. If you've got the mentality and you've got the leadership skills, why not?
Yeah,
exactly. Guys, let me know who you think that the Arsenal captain should be, the captain of the club. Do you agree that it should be Martin Ødegaard? If you're watching live, get it in the chat now. But if you're watching this afterwards, let us know in the comment section. And whilst you're doing that, don't forget, people, to hit the like button. It really just helps the streams. It helps grow the channel. You know what? Because this is something that we're going to try and do on a weekly basis. So yeah, and you know what? This is something that I'm trying to bring for you guys as well. Arsenal fans, non-Arsenal fans, we've got plenty of them in here showing support just because they love you guys. They love you too, man. That's what it is.
Hey, it's Will. It's Will.
It's Will. They're here for the Godfather, really. We know it. Big yourself. We got really
Actually, I have to say, I've got some a complaint to have because I actually shouldn't be speaking to you, Tereak. So I'm going to cut you off and just speak to King from now on because you've scheduled this show with the England game. You know I love my women's football, and it's an England women's game is on. So yeah, just know.
Wow,
just know.
The demons are coming for you, Tereak.
He's coming for me. This is what the Godfather has to put me in check.
Yeah. You know what? When the show finish, see the corner behind you. You're gonna turn your face. You're gonna sit there for half an hour and think about what you've done. Yeah. No. Not yet. You got a show to do. When the show finish, when the show done, then you know.
Oh, okay. You know what it was? You know when the bottom lip starts going, it's you know it's over. Yeah, the bottom lip. Believe. Big up Casey as well in the place, and everyone else. We've got M, we've got Ferbs in here too. Ed's in here as well now.
Yes.
Big up yourself. And M saying Thomas Partey should be the captain. It's once again, it's similar to Tierney though. Like, can you rely on him? And you know, there's certain things going on in and around at the moment. I'm not sure you can do that. But even taking that and putting that to the side, can you rely on Thomas Partey to be fit like a Tierney as well? I don't think so. So, yeah, I think that's a big reason why he hasn't been made captain. In case you're saying Tony Adams, legend. Big up everyone. So, for the next topic of conversation, this is someone who's not really involved in the squad, and he hasn't been for many a year now, especially since Arteta has come. But it also goes with Lucas Torreira. So, Juventus are closely following Lucas Torreira, the player, midfielder, prototype manager Max Allegri is looking for, and Juventus already asked about him back in May. But with Lucas Torreira, he has returned back to training as today as well, returned back with the squad, which was a little bit of a surprise because initially, if you've not been following the Lucas Torreira situation, he was meant to be going to Fiorentina for a very low price, very cut price. But Fiorentina, well, how much can you remember how much it was, guys, in particular?
If I'm correct, it was 15 million, and they could pay it on like a 6 or 7 year plan. So just like $1 million or 2 million a year. It was very convenient.
Yeah, exactly. So paying on Klarna for Lucas Torreira, in fact. And he had a good time there. They really enjoyed him. They wanted him, but they cheekily asked for even less than that. They didn't even want to pay that money, which was very, very much a term, like a deal that was in their favour. But it looks like he's returned back to training. He was there at pre-season today. He was on the bike. He was pictured there. Let me get the picture for you right now and show you. Here he is, back in training at Colney on the bike there, Lucas Torreira. I just wanted to ask you guys very quickly on this, and then we'll move on. Lucas Torreira, what's your thoughts on that situation? Would you sell him? If you was the manager, would you get rid of him and replace him? Or would you see him think that he can compete for a position in the squad? We'll start with you here, King.
Okay, so for me, I remember when Lucas just joined, I was a big fan of him. I liked that he was very passionate on the field. I liked that he was quite disciplined. You know, he stayed back. He didn't, try and commit himself going forward a lot. But if I'm honest, a lot has happened since then. I'm not a big fan of him anymore. So I might be a bit biased. I don't like the fact that he's always in the media talking, complaining. I didn't like the fact that he just played a few games as a number 10 and he made that a big topic. How many Arsenal players haven't sacrificed and play out of position? It's part of the job. You have to be professional. So I don't like that mentality. And the fact that he's not a big fan of the lifestyle in England. So I get it. He doesn't want to live in England. So if a player doesn't want to live here, I don't think you can get the best out of that player because he's so eager to leave. So even if I was the manager, I would just grant him that, because he's clearly shown that he's not ready to commit to the club and to the project. So then it's not like, this is not like a world-class player where you be like, okay, he's so good that let's try and see, even if we get 80 or 90% out of him, he will still be one of our best players. So for me, it's a sell, 100%.
Yeah, would you agree with that there, Wilf, or do you have any different opinion?
100%. As on strictly on a player level, on ability, I would take him back immediately, because he's that defensive midfielder that we are lacking. But like King said, he's burnt bridges. His family doesn't want to be here. He doesn't want to be in London. His mind wouldn't be right. His temperament wouldn't be right. He would upset the dressing room. I can't see any way back. And I would love him to, because of his ability, but there's just no chance. And see you later. Swipe right. Off you go.
Yeah. Do you see, with this Lucas Torreira situation, back to you, Wilf, I feel like this is going to be one of those transfers that drags throughout a majority of the window, where it will be very favourable to the buying club, because they know that Lucas Torreira isn't a part of our plans for the future. I think that was made clear, and he even spoke about this on an Instagram post. So if you're Juventus right now, you're looking at this situation, you like him, you actually want him, but you know he's not a part of the future. Why would you pay that money, stump it up right now, when you know you can get a cut price towards the end of the window?
But that's how a lot of European clubs work. Yeah, how they run things. I read somewhere, I think Athletic or something like that, where they wait for cut price bargains. They wait till the end of that's just how they operate. So there's nothing new there. With regards to Torreira, I just think he is he's part of the problem. I actually think he's part of the problem, because obviously he's not taking a wage cut, so that factors into it. And I just don't think he cares enough to push the deal, because he thinks, well, I'll go anyway, and he doesn't care about us getting money for him or anything like that. They're gonna stall, but I think it might backfire on him, because if they wait too late in the day, Arsenal will just go, this is the money we want, end of story. You know what I mean? We'll sit here and put him out on loan again. And get what we need for him. Because remember, we can be just as bloody minded as any player. You've seen it in the past. You've seen it with different players and different managers and whatever. And Arteta don't play. Arteta and Edu don't play. You know what I mean? If you're being belligerent, they can be just as belligerent. And sell you off to someone you don't want to go. You know?
Yeah, it's interesting to see if it will work out like that though. But yeah, King, well, I was gonna say for you now, like, what's the lowest that you would go for Lucas Torreira? Because we cut players' contracts previously. Would you even go that low, or is there a certain limit that you'd say, no, we have to make some money on this player? We're not going to make profit, of course, but we have to make some money, or we're just going to keep him in the squad and then maybe have a bit part play, like a little bit like what El Nene did, if you have to bring him in when desperate? Or do you think that he's a problem, like Will said, and it's better just to get him out of the club?
Well, he's a problem in the sense of he always say that he wants to leave. He doesn't even say that, look, I'm an Arsenal player, I'm open to leave, but if there's no bid, I'm happy to stay as well. You know, even if you say that, people understand that you want to leave, yeah? But because he's always saying that I want to leave, the club knows that I don't want to be here, you know, and all this talk that he does, it becomes a problem. And obviously the players themselves, they would read these quotes, they would know about it, they would know that he wants to leave. So, and, you know, we know that in Italy, they don't have a lot of money right now. You know, cash is not king in Italy right now. So it's like, for me, yeah, if we can trade him with another object. If we can, try and get, like Fabian Ruiz, and we trade him and put some money in, then try that, or at least get your 10 to 12 million pound at least, because he still showed quality when he was in Italy. He still had months where he was the player of the month. I think he had 3 of them for Fiorentina. So obviously he's shown that he can play in Serie A at a very high level. So let's just try and see if we can get, a little 10 to 12 mil from him, or trade him with another player that we want, and then we just move on. I'm really tired of the saga that is surrounding this player, if I'm honest.
Yeah, I understand.
King's totally right. This has gone on, like with the Guendouzi thing, this has gone on far too long. I'm shocked he's still at the club, because he's had what, 2 loans now, 3 loans.
Yeah.
And these, I mean, one thing that puts the question in my head is, how good really is he? How what's his mentality like? Because yes, these teams have wanted him, but none of them have gone out and gone, yeah, we have to have him. We have to have him on our side. Yeah, it's 7 million or 12 million or whatever. Let's see if we can make this deal work. He's good, but he ain't a game changer. I mean, he was at Atletico Madrid, wasn't he? And didn't tear up any trees there. All these clubs that he's been at, they've said, yeah, we like him and we want him, but they're not willing to stump up the cash. They've got money. I mean, I'm not saying they're like Premier League clubs, but 7 to 12 million, they can work out the finances, because Juventus have gone in for Pogba, yeah? And they've made silly money for his signing on for a year. He's a free agent, but they've offered him enough money. That extra 3 to 5 million or whatever it is, if they really wanted him that badly, they would just set the price. Fiorentina, they would just go, you know what, speak to Arsenal. Arsenal are a reasonable club. See if we can come to some agreement, put in installments over a period of time and whatever. That's how a lot of deals work nowadays, and get this guy. So that stumps up question marks for me about how good Torreira is.
I understand that. I hear that, and I think a big reason is because of Arteta's system and the way he's trying to progress us. Because Ed meant he asked a question and he kind of says that, like, is Torreira even good enough to have this kind of debate? With Torreira, he's an international quality player, and he has had a successful spell at Fiorentina in a completely different league and different environment and a different style of play. I think Torreira is a counter-attacking player, how you'd have him in a midfield. He's someone to break up the play. He'll give you the tenacity, but he'll give you okay ball, like technical ability, but not enough, not good enough to make you a ball-dominant side, because he's not good enough at progressing the ball. He's not good enough in his passing, in having the passing range, So, and he's not a physical presence. And to be honest, it's not even really to do with his physicality, because it's just those make key reasons in being a ball-dominant team when I look at Lucas Torreira. Because there was a period when he first came in, when we was playing Unai Emery football, which was, quite pragmatic in a sense, where we was counter-attacking a little bit more. And that's when he looked at home. And then Emery tried to progress him into a number 8/10 player, and that didn't work at all. We've seen Emery try to do that as he's played Coquelin out on the left wing for Villarreal and the likes of those, and even moved Etienne Capoue further up the pitch. So because that suits Emery's style of football, whereas Lucas Torreira is just not good enough to where Arsenal want to be. But he could easily go, for me, when I'm looking at who's a pragmatic side in the Premier League. I mean, he wouldn't be too bad at Wolves in that sense, because Wolves do play a sort of a counter-attacking style. And
but then they got Neves, they got Dendocker, they got Moutinho. Is he even starting above any of them?
He's not starting above Moutinho and Neves, technically, no. But he'd be an addition into their midfield, as it just numbers in that sense. But that's what we're looking at Lucas Torreira. So I mean,
he's very. He's very much like Pepe in the fact that I think Pepe is the same thing. They both suit a counter-attacking side, and they were both bought before Arteta going. They're not Arteta designed players, and so I can't ever see them fitting in the system. You know what I mean? Even if you take out all the kind of things that he said and the actually just doesn't fit. Not good enough. Doesn't fit.
Exactly that. It's true. It is true. I agree with that there. And we'll move on from Lucas Torreira and we'll move on into midfield targets now, because this has been a very hot topic of debate. And when we entered this transfer window, apart from striker, we got that sorted. The second priority was certainly midfield. We still haven't signed that midfielder yet, but we've had links over the recent days, over the past couple of days. Lucas Paqueta, the Lyon and Brazil international, Lucas Paqueta. And before these links came out, it was actually an exclusive on Tom's channel, the Gooner Talk. Go check that out, where he had a Belgian journalist that come on, and he said that Arsenal are interested in Tielemans, but Arsenal do have a priority and a key target they're looking at in midfield that it seemed like nobody has spoken about or nobody got hands on. But that could be Lucas Paqueta. It might not be. These reports have come from France, so we've not really heard anything credible from, the club side in Arsenal's perspective. But Arsenal have been quite good at keeping things quiet to a certain extent. But if I'm looking at Lucas Paqueta now, I'm going to group him up with Youri Tielemans, where that seems to have progressed as well. Wilf, do you feel like we're getting closer to that midfield signing, or do you think Arsenal's still working on at something that under the works that we don't really know about yet?
I think Paqueta is a sign that there are other fingers, other players that we're looking at, other background signings that we're looking at. I think the Paqueta thing, having had a look at him and look at his statistics and stuff, I think he's a direct replacement as a target for Rafinha. We've done with the Rafinha deal. We know leave Barcelona and Chelsea to sort that out. He's not worth them kind of monies. Bringing someone who can play on either flank, can sit on either side in the midfield. Again, also versatile, so he can cover for Saka, cover for Martinelli. I think he's predominantly left-footed, if I'm correct. I think with the Tielemans thing, to be honest, I think both parties know that's going to happen. So there's no rush to there. There's nothing they need to do there. But yeah, the Paqueta one, it's a sign that we've forget about Rafinha, but we're still going for that kind of player.
Oh yeah, definitely. I need a Brazilian after the whole Rafinha situation, because I was having so much banter laid at me. Matt and everyone will know about that situation, because I was singing Brazilian tunes, Paraduno buyout. If we sign Paqueta, he's coming back, people. I'm gonna sing it live on stream. But yeah, I think it's interesting the type of player that we're going for, King, in midfield, and the players that we've been linked with. It seems to be suiting the style that Mikel Arteta ended the season with. We're not going to that 4-2-3-1 anymore, but more of a 4-3-3 with an attacking number 8 in there in Lucas Paqueta. Youri Tielemans is an attacking number 8 as well, I'd say, who can play in a double pivot, but he's definitely much better as an attacking number 8. Even a Sergei Milinkovic-Savic, another one, attacking number 8 too. Do you think this is the right profile of player that we're going for?
Yeah, I do. And I've said it many times that we lack a lot in creativity. We didn't score a lot of goals. We didn't create a lot of goals. We didn't break down teams enough. And Lucas Paqueta gives you all of that. He's a midfielder who Wilf said very versatile. He can play on the flanks. He can play as a number 10. He can play as an attacking number 8. And he can even play in that double pivot. He's He's very, very good, and he's good at a lot of things. You know, his passing is good, his dribbling is good, his pressing is good, as you can see on the stats. So, you know, and look at his attacking
Scores
stats.
goals.
It's crazy. You know, yeah, he scores goals, great chances, you know, break lines, and he can progress with the ball. You know, he's a very good runner on the ball as well. So I'm very excited. If we get Lucas Paqueta, yeah, that's a big deal for us, and that's that will evolve the team. You know, take us to another level. To have a midfield with Partey, Paqueta, and Ødegaard potentially. Wow.
Exactly that. There, Paqueta would be.
And if we get Tielemans as well, that's another
yeah.
Another
Do you think
in the armory.
Before we jump into the comments, do you think, guys, do you think that we'll potentially get both, or do you think it's one or the other?
I thought it was one of the
both.
other.
Oh,
okay. I think both.
Yeah, you go first. You go first.
Go on, Wilf.
Yeah. I think both. Because we would have still got Tielemans if we got Rafinha. I think both of them. I starting to see Arteta is really going top heavy on the attack. He's really looking to pin teams back, nullify their attacking options by not letting them get out their third of the pitch. And it's very front-footed. It's very aggressive. I'm loving it, and it's gonna hurt a lot of teams. But by that same token, we've got enough defensive shape, defensive players to handle it if we have to defend.
Interesting. Yeah. And what about you, King? If that, and I know what you're gonna say, because I agree. I think at the start of the window it was definitely I only saw one, but now a slight bit of hope is creeping that maybe we could get both, because of that Rafinha situation, and Paqueta is someone that can play out wide. What was your thoughts on it? Have I kind of stolen it there?
No. Okay. The thing with me is that I think we need both, and I would be so happy if we got both. Honestly, it would really be impressive. But I think if we get both, I think that means someone is leaving. Maybe Granit Xhaka. I can't see us having Ødegaard, Fabio Vieira, Youri Tielemans, Paqueta, Granit Xhaka, Sambi Lokonga, and Thomas Partey. I think if we get Tielemans and Paqueta, then maybe that means Granit is leaving, and it's not bad. I think it's still a plus in every way, because if you check last season when we started to play with two number 8s attacking, and Granit was playing in that role, surely Paqueta and Tielemans does that even better when it comes to attacking and ball progression and transmission as well. So it would be nice to have both, but I wonder, is this the reason why we haven't been so aggressive on Tielemans? Is it because we are trying to get someone else, and maybe that is Paqueta, and then maybe we will go for a more defensive player like a Martinez? Maybe we'll see something else, but I don't know. You know, if we get Tielemans, Paqueta, and Grimaldo, it's a wonderful window by Arsenal.
It's true, and big up Roland in the place, and he's asking the question about what's happening to Xhaka. For me, you know my thoughts, Will, thanking. I'm not letting go of Xhaka yet. I'm not, because he still gives us another element in our midfield. If you get rid of Xhaka now, you're leaving us extremely light on the defensive end, I feel.
I was just about to say the same thing, yeah.
Thomas Partey picks up injuries, and then you're leaving us without Nene, then just a lot. And Sambi Lokonga still yet to prove himself. He can become that. What we've seen early in pre-season, that Arteta has played him even as an 8/10. So very high up the pitch in a very advanced role. And you still got...
Do you reckon we keep Granit if we get both Tielemans and Paqueta?
I think we need to. I think we need to.
Yeah, I agree with
Will. I think we still need to.
Yeah,
I'm not. I'm not Xhaka's biggest fan. I'll give we had a really good season last season, But at this moment in time, unless we get a solid defensive midfielder in, which I don't think Martinez is coming now. Something tells me he's not coming, especially with the hike in price. It would be stupid to get rid of Xhaka now because of his defensive capabilities alongside Partey. Just like I was saying to you about the attacking options that we have, him and Partey, or El Neni and Partey, or El Neni and Xhaka, gives us that midfield basic stability that means the others can go and just play their game and do what they need to do and tear teams a new one. Without Xhaka, we become too light. You know what I mean?
I think
just too light. And I think Arteta has sussed out how to stop Xhaka's brain farts. I don't know what he's done, but he stopped it and kind of said, "Look, I'm relying on you. This team's relying on you." So yeah.
Exactly that there. Let's go into your comments, guys, because we've got plenty of you in the place right now. Thank you for all joining. And yeah, this is time where we're going to get into your comments before we move on to the final topics, of course. We've got about 15 minutes left. I know the England game is about to start in 4 minutes, so I won't take too much of your time, Wilf, and everyone else that's looking forward to that game. I'd recommend you go and watch it and then join Eagle Eye Football for that as well. Yeah, great commentary and just good laugh whilst the games are going on. But Wesbird has also said right here, Jack Wilshere just announced as under-18s head coach. Quick thoughts on that, King and Wilf? King?
I'm happy for him. I'm sad to see they had to retire so early, but, to get this opportunity is great. The under-18s will thrive, with such, he's kind of a cult hero, Jack Wilshere. Yeah. He has such a high status around Arsenal, so I think it's good for all parties.
Exactly. What's your thoughts, Wilf?
It's Jackie boy, of course, man. The fact that he's still at Arsenal filled me with love and all cuddly inside. I mean, Ed asked the question earlier about Guendouzi and Torreira in imagine that midfield. What I would have loved to have seen is Ramsey and Wilshere fit, healthy, at their potential with I forgot his name now. Went to Barcelona from us. We got him from Barcelona. He went back.
Alex Song.
No. He went to Fabregas. There you go. Yeah. Them three in our midfield would have been so sweet. But I'm happy for Jack. He'll do great things with the under 18s.
There's someone else. This guy, imagine Jack Wilshere.
Abu Dhabi.
You go.
You
imagine
Yeah.
Nah, would have won the Premier
League.
Sick player, honestly.
Yeah.
No weakness.
We'd have won something. We would have. I think we would have got another title at least. We'd have got another title at least.
That'd have been a dream.
I go back sometimes and I watch games from around 07, 08 because I really like those players we had back then. But what a player Diaby was! He was so silky.
Such a shame. Such a shame. Yeah. And I think I brought this debate into our communities previously. Like, if you had to pick one, who would you have seen go injury free? Jack Wilshere or Abu Dhabi? I understand the Jack Wilshere because he's come through the club and those things. But Abu Dhabi would have been he would have been the best in the world at one point.
Yeah, he would have. He would have. And much as I love Jack Wilshere, I'd have to agree with that because Diaby would have given us that Yaya Toure, Vieira steel in that midfield that nobody could, that wall that nobody ain't coming past. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Exactly that. It was crazy good. Mr. Wesbird says that we need someone coming into the midfield. That's for sure. Otherwise, we start the new season with the same lineup plus Vieira. Yeah, and just to add on that, guys, do we need to sign at least one midfielder before that Crystal Palace game? In your thoughts?
100%,
without a doubt. Yeah, without a doubt. I would like to see it. I would like to be a defensive midfielder. I don't know who that is. But Yeah, that would, without doubt.
Yeah, I agree. Ed bringing up Tielemans, the most controversial player in Tereak talks. Yeah, King. Yeah, you was involved in that as well, King. That was just after you're off, Wolf. So, yeah. I feel like everyone else had it. Those are delirious and that, you know what I mean? By the Tielemans, but yeah. Hey, I am still baffled. Big up G Staffy in here as well. She said, Wilf. And then she even said the King himself. Big up G.
Big up Grace, man. She I hope you're feeling much better.
Exactly.
Yes. Well done for your race the other day.
Yeah, well done.
That's what we like to see, G Staffy. We need both, but this Arsenal can only see. Yeah, I agree, Mr. West. But being pessimistic Arsenal fan in the transfer window, I can only see us getting one, and that's maybe the bubble burst after the Rafinha incident, and then it looks like Martinez is going. But now I can only see us getting one. If we get two, we're in dreamland. But
I don't know. Because I'm the other way round with that, because the Rafinha deal is giving me more hope that A, the money is there, and B, because we're going for lesser valued players, we could easily get two. If we'd got Rafinha, then I think that would have been just a one. But Tielemans at 25, 30 mil, and another midfielder in there, I can see happening more, because we were willing to stump up money for the likes of Rafinha, for the likes of Martinez. I can see that gives me hope. I actually think it's the other way.
It's true. I hear that. Before King gives his thoughts on that, I would say Arsenal have, when we have targeted our players and we've gone for our main targets, we've not held back, but we have held back when we haven't got our initial targets previously. Like we saw in January where we put the 65 million for Vlahovic, that didn't work through. So we went, no. Even when everyone else was calling, begging for a striker, if we don't see them as, as a guaranteed someone who's going to come in and make an impact, we'd rather not take the risk. So I see what you're saying, but then on the other hand, we'll have to, the proof will be in the pudding. What side of the fence do you lean on, King?
I think I'm actually with Wilfred. I think with the players we're linked with, Grimaldo is a very cheap option at left back. I think we're going for him because we want to go big on midfield and sign two players, and hopefully we will. And it would just be so great to see Arsenal have a deep squad, going into the season. Just the vibes around the team, the fans, it would lift up everyone. I would love to see it.
Hey, I would love that as well. I want to be proven wrong, because then we would be so good. Could you imagine the midfield if that? Oh man, the depth we've not had midfield depth in so long.
Yeah,
Mr. Westbird saying Xhaka ain't going nowhere in my opinion. First on Arteta's list, I agree with you on that. And look at G Staffy. Look, she's even gassing me up as well now. My favorite YouTube channel for the new season. See, you've gassed up Will, you've gassed up King, and then there you go. You put the cherry on top of the cake. Big up Bobby about this clip. What about my team, Hanno? Yeah, if you haven't seen it, I was on Eagle Eye Football. I was on Get Amped, and then Hanno was talking about who's going to finish in the top four. And then I said, "What about my team?" And she laughed. Go check it out. Everyone else cracking up.
Yeah.
They hate on us. They hate on us, guys. But listen to Ed smash the like button.
I love it. I love it.
Yeah,
I love it. I'm dying on that hate. I'm. It's sweet nectar to me. I'm loving it. So when we finish third, and all them man there, and women out there going just crying into their pillow because we finished above them, and they anything that they say is going to mean doubly for their team. I'm loving it.
We'll see. Yeah, exactly. Siege mentality that we're trying to build here at Arsenal. Xhaka is a must-have in this squad. I agree. Granit is as solid as a rock, says Matt. If you get a packet of crisps and Tielemans, Xhaka plays packet of crisps, you know, wow. Disrespect to Paqueta right there.
It took me a while to get that.
Xhaka plays first reserve, moves down to the bench / depth chart. I agree with you there. We've got plenty more comments coming in, people. We will get through them, but I just need to make sure we get through the last bit of topics and then we'll go right into yours and everything like that. So, Gabriel Magalhaes, interest is coming from Juventus. It's not concrete, but it's been around for a little bit now. There's no smoke without fire, I say. I'm sure there's certainly interest. I don't think that they will sign him. But I'm asking you this hypothetical question now. What price would you sell Gabriel Magalhaes at, Wilf? Or would you say not at all because he is this important for the side and you can't replace him?
Honestly, in my opinion, not at all. Not now because of where he sits as a pivotal in that centre back. But if you're talking price, before I pick up the phone, you got to be coming in with that minimum 80 million. Yeah, that's your starting, that's your opening bid, and it's going higher. Because was he 24 now? Is he 24 yet? He's 24. Yeah. He's doing what he's doing. You know, if Harry Maguire, I saw someone say earlier, if Harry Maguire is what, 8? Harry Maguire is 79 million. Please, don't even start with me unless you're going closer to the 100 million mark. And even then, I'd be thinking, is it worth it at this stage? No. You'd have to come in with ridiculous, silly money that we couldn't say no.
Yeah, I hear that. You see Matt saying 80 million there? Laughing crazy. What about you, King? Gabriel Magalhaes? I know this is hypothetical. I don't think he will go, so I don't really want to entertain that unless we get to a point there that happens. But would you sell that price?
No, I wouldn't. The reason why I wouldn't, especially this season, is that sometimes it's about sending statements, and we don't want to start selling our best players at the stage we are now. It will just send the wrong signals to the squad and to the other teams out there. So for me, it's a straight no, honestly. Even if they came with 100 million, I would tell them thank you, but no thank you. Because I think he has the potential to become so good that, you know, in 2-3 years' time, if he becomes a Brazilian international and he starts for us week in and week out, and we are competing for, you know, you're looking at 100+ million. And it's hard to find very good left-footed centre-backs. And that's the thing as well. It's much easier to find a right-footed centre-back than it is to find a very good left-footed centre-back. So I'll keep him.
I understand that. It's a very good point, actually, the left-footed centre-back.
It's not just his what King just said. It's his profile, his physicality, his leadership, the fact that he's playing in the Premier League, he's so young. There's too many factors, you know what I mean? On top of what King just said, you know what I mean? Where are you going to get a left-sided, like you said, left-footed centre-back with that physicality, with that aggression, with that hunger, with that desire, and already bedded into your side? The money becomes pointless.
Listen, Nathan Ake is going for about 45 million. So that shows how
that's the problem.
There is a dearth of left-footed centre-backs, as King is saying. Being a left-footed centre-back myself, I'm just trying to drive my price up, all right?
Okay. Hey, if we're getting rid of Gabriel to bring you in, that's a different story. You've changed the parameters now.
You see what I'm saying? Go. Can you imagine? Be Saliba at the back. Oh.
There you go. There you go.
clubs out there, if you pay me and Wilf $1 million each, we let go of Tereak and we take over.
Yeah.
You have to get $1 million to let
Plus
me go.
add-ons. Plus add-ons.
Yeah,
There's got to be add-ons, man.
You guys, these Mina Raiola agents right here. You know what I mean? They're just being crazy. You're about to deny me my move. I'm gonna have to. You're about Harry Kane's agents. You are. You deny me my move, man.
And there's a buyback clause as well. There's a buyback clause as well.
So guys, we've hit the topics I mainly wanted to talk about, but let us know in the chat now. Get your questions in. Any Arsenal, non-Arsenal fans, it doesn't have to be even Arsenal related questions, but get them in and we'll discuss I said we'll be done in an hour, probably last 5-10 minutes or so. Wilf won't kill me. He's 10.
Yeah, no, you're right. I'm taping it anyway.
There we go. There we go. We'll get into it, people. But yeah, give us your questions, and then we'll discuss if there's any more Arsenal related ones that we haven't mentioned in this video. Because we're just short for time because of the England game, people. So let us know. Bobby K has also asked about this, and I kind of wanted to mention this earlier, that Thomas Partey has come into training today. He was pictured driving in at London Colney. And have they cleared Xhaka or Partey of these horrid allegations? They've not been cleared. The last that we know is that the person who's being accused was under police questioning, and that they will release on bail until August. So whoever it is, whatever footballer, whoever it is, there's no resolution that's come that's official yet. I'm sure it will. If it was cleared, they will make it official. The police will put it out there as well, like we saw with Basuma when he was cleared too. So they've not been cleared yet. So we'll have to wait and see. So we don't have any more information on that. What a grace boost for the kids to have Jack guiding them. Yeah, it's a player that they're going to be looking up to for sure. Could you imagine, like Jack Wilshere? That's the first player that I had on the back of my shirt, Jack Wilshere.
Yeah.
But now I've got the star boy himself. You know what I mean?
Boy, that Jack's Barcelona performance, like it's still epic. It's one of them moments,
King, I was a kid. Yeah. Wilf, you'll have to tell me your thoughts and remembering that. If you can go back that far, but I'm sorry. Basically. I was a kid. Yeah. Okay. Oh my words. Yo, my mum never let me stay up after 9:30 on a Champions League night. But even mum was watching that game and she was like, no, you can stay up for this. And then we saw that Arshavin moment. When Martin was it because it was on ITV? Was it on Sky Sports or ITV? I can't remember.
I think it was on ITV.
Yes.
Then
we saw the Arshavin. I was like, oh man,
it wasn't on Sky
because they were the best team in the world at that time.
They were.
Yeah, they were, and everyone. Even Xavi, Iniesta, all of them were just so
that's it. One of the best midfields ever there. You know what I mean?
He bullied them. He bullied it. And that's when you saw I think that's the time when you saw what his potential could be.
Yeah.
That was the game where you went, if this brother goes on, he's gonna be sick, he's gonna be insane. Because and the thing is, he was so young as well. He was so young that no fear, run things. But for me, the moment that epitomizes Jack Wilshere, not just that game, but that Norwich goal. That Norwich goal was just, that was he again running things, just driving and unplayable. On his day, when he was fully fit, you only saw it in spurts. Sadly, he was unplayable. He really was.
It's true.
He would scare teams. He would scare teams if you see his name on the team sheet.
It's true, man. And Moss, you better hope that Arsenal captain armband curse is lifted, because everyone who gets that captain's armband, what happens?
I know.
Nah. New era.
That's
Different
what
armband. New
I
era.
think so, and I'm hoping so.
Nah, it's new era. New things. I new things.
And the good thing is, Tereak, is that, Barcelona can't afford him.
Yeah.
Real Madrid just paid big money on Tchouaméni and the other kid they bought last year. What's his name again? The French kid they bought who was brilliant in the Champions League. I forgot his name.
French.
Delicious? No, French.
No, the central midfielder. I think he got dreads as well.
Oh, Camavinga.
Yeah, Camavinga.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so they got them too, so I don't think they wouldn't pay 100 million to get Ødegaard back. It wouldn't look good.
And
so I think
that's what it would take, because he's just signed a new contract. He's what, 2 years into his contract?
Yeah.
So anyone that came in, we could ask for them silly monies because he's on a 4 or 5 year contract. So I know it sounds crazy when you say the monies, and it's not necessarily always that this guy is worth that, but because of the length of the contract, because of how young they are and all the rest of it, you only sell unless someone comes in with such ridiculous money that you could build a squad. The last time that I remember that Arsenal doing it was with Anelka. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
We go on. We sold Anelka and bought a whole team. We bought Henry the next year and all these man them. Yeah.
There we go, man. Big up Crab as well. Crab, we're gonna wrap up soon, bro. Because we got the England game.
Yes,
on.
Crab.
But I joined at the wrong time.
That's all right, man. No worries.
Yes, Crab. How you doing, big man?
I had to move it a bit earlier.
What's going on? Hope you're all well, man.
Nah,
my
bro.
Gambian brother.
Appreciate that.
Yes.
But big up, man. I'm trying to. We got any more questions in the place or any comments that we can talk on? Moss is asking about, haven't you had a few? Malacia, Ericsson, Lissandro. That's not being confirmed yet. But guys, Crab, I want to ask your thoughts on this. Ajax are asking for what, 60 million euros now for Lissandro Martinez? Would you pay that?
No.
Would you
pay
pay
that? He's got to start.
No.
Yeah.
Is he going to start for us?
52 million pounds, something like that.
Yeah. 60
He's
million, he's got to start.
He's not starting.
Then it's
it's not starting. It's too much.
We can't get in a situation where we got a 60 million pound player on the bench. Unless we know guaranteed Lisandro Martinez is going to be starting for us.
Yeah.
And I wouldn't pay that money. This whole thing, look at the Pepe thing. Not to say he's going to be the same, but having those kind of players just sitting on your bench, it just causes more problems than there is. That's a lot of money.
Yeah, exactly that, man. So, I agree. Do you
that.
guys agree as well with Crab?
Oh, 100%.
Yeah,
100%. Like I said to you earlier. Yeah, go on.
It's too much money. He's not worth that money. And also, there's still questions around him. Is he gonna play centre back? Is he left back? Is he DM? His height? It's too many questions to put that amount of money.
Even if he is worth that money, he's not coming to play as centre back. It was never really an option. He was going to be a backup centre back at best. So where we were going to play him, his position was going to be defensive midfield player. That was where he was going to play. And I was thinking about this the other day because it's like the Jesus thing with Ten Hag. It's a manager he's played at before. He's going to be played in his preferred position. The pot is sweeter without the money, so he's not coming to us. I think that deal's done, and now they hiked up the price. Just later for that.
Let him go. United. He'll start there.
Comment.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll start there, and it'll be interesting because he'll most likely start as a centre back, and for us, he was looking to more left back cover for us. And I understand because he kind of wants Martinez to do that Xhaka role when he's moved Xhaka at left back at times, to be that passer, to be that aggressive, type of player. They're not really focusing on bombing down the left, but Grimaldo will give you that at left back, and it'll be more of a light for light replacement with Tierney in that sense. What else we got?
Can I say just one thing? In all honesty, I actually haven't watched Martinez. I actually think his best position, and with his dynamism is holding midfield player and driving through the midfield. But that's just me.
Yep, Stan mentioned that today. He said that he thinks that's his best position. Yeah, for Manchester United, and he could certainly play that, and that's why I think we were pushing for him for like 40+ million because of the versatility he would provide and the cover he'd provide multiple positions.
It makes sense for him to go to United then because he can play left centre back or DM or left back. And it'd probably be better than all their options in those 3 positions.
Yeah.
It makes
and he's starting.
And he's playing under Ten Hag. I mean, that's a done deal, to be honest.
It's true. Yeah. He'd start in all those positions.
They can have that. They can have that midget. I never rated him anyway.
The reason why I wouldn't like that question. Has anyone told Ten Hag he can buy players outside of the Eredivisie? Has anyone?
I
don't think anyone's saying no.
And if they are, they're Dutch. So
yeah, exactly. Yeah.
It's mad. I don't even know, man. Yeah, that shows a lot.
I think they've shackled him. I think they've brought Ten Hag in and they've made promises to him and they shackled him. And I think he's even starting to think now, actually, the promises you made me, you were lying because he's not being able to get in the players that he wants.
It could be a case of
him coming today,
and they're like, you need to justify certain players for us to get them, and then he can only really do that with players that he's played with, not played with, sorry, that managed. Because I think you're right. There could be something in that, and then he's going, oh, I want this, and they're like, we're not too sure, and he's like, fine. Lissandro Martinez I've played with. I know his position. He can bring that, and that. It could be that. It could be on either side. It could either be. There's so many things that could happen there. I know it's not a Man United show, but it is interesting what's going on there because they're just.
Oh, of course.
Did you see the comments from Ten Hag about Maguire and captaincy?
No. What did he say? I knew. What did he say?
He says he's going to remain.
So he
captain.
said that. Yeah, he's the captain, and he's chosen him because he's been so successful. And it's like,
wait, what? I didn't see that bit. I didn't see the success.
What on FIFA?
Yeah.
What on FIFA?
Definitely not FIFA.
I was going to say,
No, I'm talking when they're playing FIFA in the dressing room. That's what I'm talking about. That's where he's been successful.
He's the best at pool or ping pong or something.
Something like that.
There's no way he said he's the most successful.
He's not even lifted a trophy.
Must be smoking.
No, he's got 0 trophies.
What the hell?
He got a couple of relegation.
He's got 4 relegation.
That's the reverse psychology thing. So relegation is being successful. Yeah, cool.
I don't get that at all.
But that tells me that's the club who is given that this is what you have to say, and he's gonna be our captain because we spent X amount of money on him.
Yes, the club, isn't it? Yeah, you're right.
It's true, man.
This is what I'm saying to you. I don't think they're backing him in his decisions because if I was a manager if I was Ten Hag going in there, the first thing I would do is take away the captaincy from Maguire just to relieve him of the pressure. Not forget about what you think of him as a player, but just to relieve the pressure on him because I think the pressure on him. Yeah, so the pressure that's been on him as Man United captain and whatever has affected his form. And I would have, and nobody could. All you had to do was come out and say, "Listen, it's a new era. We appreciate what he's done. The kind of what I'm looking for from a captain. I'm trying something else. It's my thing. I'm taking all the pressures. No, nothing on Maguire. He's still excellent. He's still, one of our main men. You could have easily done that.
Yeah. I think a lot of managers should have done that with him and just take him out of the limelight and just see, because he's been awful last season. The first season he was all right, but I mean that price tag hurts. But I'm sorry, but the United fans are not. They keep trying to convince me that Maguire was shit when they signed him, and he really wasn't.
Oh, of course he wasn't.
He was actually fine at Leicester.
Yeah, it was.
So there's someone who's capable in there. He's just been. It's just like you need. I think you're right. I think they should have just dropped him for a whole half of the year and then come back at preseason and gone again. They left him in there to literally they pretty much just exposed him. Same with Wan-Bissaka.
Yeah.
Bad man management.
Yeah. And for me, it's crazy. They don't play a system that suits Maguire. You can see when he plays for England.
But I don't get this thing of like you have to have protection for your defense if you're one of the top
100%.
Yeah, standard.
Because we're going to get countered. All the top teams get countered consistently more than any other team in the league. And in order for you to alleviate that counter, you need someone, a DM. Otherwise, you just have your two centre backs up against rapid wingers the whole time. Yeah. It's like literally basic football was going on there. You need DM.
And the best CVs in the world. In the biggest teams, they have a defensive geezer in front of them.
Yep.
Liverpool have one, Man City have one, Real Madrid, the list goes on. You know.
Yep. I always like to banter Maguire because it's fun and he plays for United. But if you play a low block with him there, he's one of the best. Honestly.
Oh yeah, low block, definitely.
Low block, you don't go past him. But if you play a high line with his immobility and his lack of pace, of course. He's going to look fragile.
Yeah. I also think their partnerships have been a bit. They've tried out so many different partnerships and injuries, and they haven't been able to settle on a strong two that can learn how to play with each other. They threw in Varane in there. He had to play with Lindelof, Bailly, and Maguire in like such a short space of time. So it's annoying because United are literally, it's like they can't get worse. They're actually only going to get better.
Yeah,
because they can't get any worse.
I don't know. They could.
I agree with you.
It's possible.
No way. There's no way they could get worse than what they were under Oli. There's no way when they were like this. They are going to lose every game.
Yeah, it can be because remember.
They didn't have a system.
Between Oli and Ten Hag is like morale is low at the moment at Man United.
Yeah.
If he doesn't go in there and start firing from straight off, the players are going to go, it's just happening again, isn't it? We just lost Pogba and, bringing in this geezer, and this geezer's got really no experience. All he's done is at Ajax with young players, and this is what we're doing. It can go sour real quick.
Yeah, the players won't be patient. They won't be patient.
That's actually a brilliant point there, Will. United need a good start. If they start shaky, it can turn south quite quickly.
Yeah. Media's going to be on their back. Fans are going to be on their back. The players, this Ten Hag geezer
turned on their managers. That's how toxic that group of players is, and they've still not shifted any of apart from ones that left on a free. They've still got a lot of the main core there, and all that separation, and that's what we suffered. You see, because we had so many different players that suited different styles. Like it didn't work. You couldn't have that mishmash together. You couldn't have a starting 11. Because they're different managers, different styles, like they work in different systems. And that's what Man United had last season, and that's what they're still having this season. And even if they sign the players, the ones that Ten Hag has bought, Maguire still doesn't suit a Ten Hag. De Gea doesn't suit Ten Hag. Wan-Bissaka doesn't suit Ten Hag. Like McTominay doesn't suit Ten Hag. I don't even think Fred.
McTominay doesn't suit anyone.
Yeah. They don't.
But this is the problem because I mean,
at Everton, that's who he suits.
There you go. But Ten Hag is coming in with a squad that doesn't suit his style, and he's got to make it work straight away. Otherwise, he's going to start losing faith in the team. The team's going to lose faith in the fans, and if the board do, they're going to sack him straight away. They're not going to hold out because he's not a huge name.
It's the defense. It's why they're not buying so much. They're buying a lot of the defenders because these managers. That's the one they all build out from the back. So they saw out the defense, and most of them can get a tune out of these forwards. Because let's be honest, Ten Hag likes fluid attacking players who can swap from like wing to striker and things like that. And you've got that in Rashford. You've got that in Martial. You've almost kind of got it in Bruno in a way. Like they're players who can play in multiple roles.
Yeah, Sancho
is another one, left, right. He can even play false 9. He did it for Dortmund. He played 10.
I think Sancho does, but not a Bruno or Rashford has the positional or the intelligence to really cover those. They can cover them in a counter-attacking system where there's space, but when there is a little space, where if you're a ball dominant side, it takes clever movement. You know what I mean? This is why I say like Eddie Nketiah, why I like him, because he shows that clever movement in the box. Yes, he needs to brush other things of his game, but you need to have this sort of intelligence, the intangibles that we as fans don't notice, but the coaches and your teammates certainly do in that sense.
But isn't Ten Hag's football? Correct me if I'm wrong, but in kind of counter attacking anyway. Is it-
Nah,
No, Ten
No,
Hag
is
wants
it-
to dominate the ball a lot.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, and that's why I worry for players like Rashford and Bruno, because they're not the best passers of the ball. They need
Yeah.
space. They are counter-attacking.
He will
players.
play one of those two as striker. I think he will play Rashford striker, and that's where we'll try and get a tune.
even then, you know that the little link-up play that you need in and around the box if
Yeah.
you're a ball-dominant
They
side.
didn't have that too much with Haller. It's the
Haller's
Tadic
very good at hold-up play, though.
Yeah,
Very,
big
very
guy,
good.
yeah.
Yeah,
But they
he's so
didn't
big.
rely on it. They relied on their sort of Tadic, and who was the other one? Anthony. It's very
Yeah.
much like down the wing as well, Ten Hag
Yeah.
system. But then they just move around, like Tadic and the striker just swap randomly. And you have Haller on the left wing. Like, you
Haller's
need
an
that.
intelligent footballer, though. Like us when he was at Frankfurt, I was
agree with that.
watching him and Luka Jovic. Jovic was the one peeling off the back of him, and Haller was doing all the hold-up play, you know, the little flicks around the corner.
Yeah.
And I can't see Rashford doing that, though.
I mean, he's gonna have to change his system for Man United slightly. He's not gonna be able to do what he wants to do. So
Yeah.
I mean,
yeah,
I think of all those players he'll get a tune out of is probably Rashford. Of all the ones that are like, you know, your Wan-Bissaka, Luke Shaw, Telles, like these guys have just been awful. I think the only one is probably going to be Rashford. I think he's going to. They've probably told him he has to as well.
Yeah.
But yeah,
I think Sancho and maybe Donny, he might get a tune out.
Donny will get back in there. Yeah, exactly.
Oh, of course he will, because he's another 10 Hag player, isn't he? And he knows the system.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, I am going to have to wrap it up now. We spent probably the last 20 minutes to 10 minutes or so actually talking about Man United. But, I'm going to wrap it up here. I tried to keep it to an hour and 20. That's
they're our Europa League competitor, so you know.
Yeah,
it's true. Yeah, exactly. They're our rivals for the Europa League. But now, big up everyone, man. Crab, thanks for coming on, bro. Apologies that I had to say it earlier, so we couldn't be here chatting longer. But I want to try and make this a regular show. Anyone that's catching it now that wasn't quite here for the start, this is something that I want to do weekly, where we talk about Arsenal. Me and Ed, when the Premier League returns, we're going to have our weekly show back as well for the Premier League one, talking about the Premier League preview and those things. But I want to make this one a, you know, Arsenal based. And the reason I've decided to do it now rather than earlier is because we've built up a good community. We've got plenty more Arsenal fans with different opinions as well. This is what we like. Literally all of us here, we have different opinions to each other. And then, you know, even Moss and Bobby and everyone else that's been on the channel as well. So I want to make this a regular thing. And then, yeah. And then if you guys like it, smash it. Make sure you do smash the like button and let us know in the comments as well. But before we wrap up, I want to big up everyone in the chat too who's joined. Thank you for joining. And the ones that are still here in the comments, we've got Social. Thank you for that, Social. Edmund, big up yourself. Mr. Westbird, still sending our prayers out for you, got my brother, and for you as well, Mrs. Westbird too. Just the Westbird family. Prayers out to you and hoping for the best. Make sure you keep us updated in the Discord as well, people. Love to you. We've got Moss in here as well. We've got Josh, Bobby K, 2 Canadians in here, Arsenal and Spurs fans in the place. Look at the community. Big up yourselves. Pax is here too. And he says, yeah, T will end the stream when the England game is over. I know. And anyone else I've missed out, Matt is in here, Mr. 200, and anyone else, thank you for tuning in. It's been a great one. Crab, let the people know where they can find you, man, and what you've been doing. Because Matt kind of gave you a little plug there. That you playing
I was cooking on Warzone today. I was on fire. But you can find me on Twitch. Crab Dribble on Twitch, Crab Dribble on Twitter, streaming Football Manager. I'll do like some watch-alongs during the season as well. I want to do a lot for like the World Cup at some point. And that's mainly it. I play a few various games. I'm nearly at 1,000 followers, nearly. About 10 away.
Oh, gee, that's good. On Twitch as well. That's impressive. It's way harder
Twitch
to
is
get.
tricky, yeah. But yeah, that was the goal for this year, was to hit 1K. So I'm close. But yeah, thanks for having me on, man. I'll definitely be jumping on more of these.
Definitely, man. Yeah, hopefully we'll do it later on as well, just in for the timing. So yeah, because usually I'm at football on a Monday, so I would do it later. But yeah, today's too hot. but big up King, my bro. Thank you for coming on. Let the people know where they can find you, man.
Thanks for having me on. It's a pleasure, you know, with Uncle Will, the Don, the Godfather, you know, Tereak himself and the Crab. You know, it's been a good show. And yeah, you can find me here. You can find me on the Discord. And soon, guys, you'll be able to find me here as well. I'm starting my channel. I'll launch it soon.
Go on.
King's Football Show.
There we go, man. And yeah, what content were you gonna have on there?
Yes, I'm gonna do a lot of FPL. I love playing FPL. It's nice. I'm gonna do football content, so it won't be like an Arsenal actually channel. So it'll be a lot of football. I will break down a lot of games and how teams play. So we'll also go back and watch some great, games back from the day. So yeah, it's gonna be nice.
Definitely go check it out, people. Get ready, and we'll be doing a lot of cold streams and that. And he's the king of FPL.
Yeah, I was gonna say you're gonna do like top picks for the week and stuff. Because
I'm gonna do that. I'm gonna do players to avoid, players to go for, differentials, all of it, and how you can increase your rank, and how important price bracket is. There's a lot.
He's very, very knowledgeable in that sense.
I don't think anyone's really in that space from what I've seen.
There isn't many. There isn't many. But the people that are, they do well.
What it is that some just do FPL and some just do football, but no one does both on one channel. So I want to mix it,
Jeez.
Go on.
There you go. And Wilf, the Godfather himself. Yeah, I mean Don Wilf, as King was saying then as well. Let the people know what
the upgraded Wi-Fi today.
Well, from what you told me, I'm going to be on here. I'll be here. You can catch me here, and you catch me in the Discords, and just sitting back, enjoying the content, loving the Arsenal, and living life.
Jeez, that's what we love to see. Big up T-Dog in the place as well. Thank you all. Listen, people, check these guys out. Go check them out on Twitch, YouTube, and on here as well, Tereak Talks. And join the Discord, as Paxton put it into the chat earlier as well. Go, thank you very much for joining. Thank you for staying for this 1.5 hour long show. Make sure you do catch the rest of the England's women's game, and that seems to be done and dusted already. But thank you to you all. We're out. Love and peace, and I'll catch you soon. I'll catch you on Thursday for the Gummy Bear with Ed. We'll be promoting.
Finally.
Exactly. Catch you then. Take care, people.
Cheers.